everybody. Welcome back to the Bullhucker podcast. I'm Lee Swanstrom.
I'm Josh Finley.
What up, Josh Finley?
Nada, buddy. How are you today?
I can't help but notice you're wearing a lot of red.
A lot of red. A lot to be proud about today.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you watched last week's episode, I had two guys on here all decked out in the Husker stuff.
I did.
Did you watch the Cage Boys?
Well, after you see one, you better see them all, right? So I tuned in. Plus, I saw in the highlight he's wearing my color, so I figured, he's got to be good people.
Oh, those Cage Boys love their Cornhuskers, man.
They do. We all do. They
might have done okay against CU, huh?
I was really hoping stuff would get out of hand. When we're up 28-0 at halftime, I'm thinking, man, this is what I've been waiting for 20 years. Don't let up now. We still play a half of football.
Yeah, I get you.
That's it.
I don't watch a lot of college football, but you know who I don't like is that Shadir Sanders.
Oh, boy.
At all. I don't
Show
like
your watch.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. But here's the crazy part today. We have another Cornhusker fan on. Mm-hmm. But here's the even crazier part. Other than myself, this person's probably been on this podcast more than anybody.
Anybody else,
So this could be a little tough when he comes on because he knows all the tricks. He knows what I like to do, and he knows how I like to pick these things out.
Yep.
Adam Vocke, how are you?
I'm doing great. I got to tell you, when you go, I'm Moose Lundstrom, it was hard for me to sit here and not say, and I'm Adam Vocke. It's like, wait, it's not me yet.
Yep.
So
if you watch a Cage episode, I go, and Jerry, you got something to say? I don't think so. I go, don't ever talk about Adam again. Oh, yeah, if you like what you see, then he goes into it. And he's talking all that shit, dude. Yeah, Jerry does good.
Yeah, I saw the Cages were at the game.
Yeah, they go.
Yeah, I saw it on Jerry. I think it was Jerry's page.
Their dad takes them. I think him and all the boys go, and it's a...
Oh, man.
It's a thing.
I didn't know they were Husker fans.
Oh, huge Husker fans. It was 2 years ago. When Sanders show up? When primetime show? Last year.
Yep.
He had called me because I had connections with Tim, and tickets with some stuff. He's like, "Can you give me tickets?" I'm like, shit, I doubt it. Everybody and their brother's going to that shit. So
I had 2 tickets last year. I had some friends of mine that are CU fans, season ticket holders, and they called me the night before the game and said, "Hey, you be interested in the other 2? We'll give them to you. You go with us." And I told them, I said, I was at the game when they ejected the entire student section, and that's the last time I'll ever be in Folsom Field.
I was at that game too.
It was insane.
It was nuts. Yeah, I was there with Marty. We'd gotten tickets from the publisher or the editor at the Fort Morgan Times. He was CU alum. Mm-hmm. So we were sitting in the CU alumni section.
Oh boy,
the pimp seats.
And so things they started getting rowdy, and the students started throwing all that shit out on the field, which was dumb because CU was driving and they were doing good. So then the students start throwing shit out on the field, and they stop the game and empty the student section. So Marty and I are sitting there, we're looking around, we're like, okay, there's like 3 more Huskers down, the fans there, there's like 3 or 4 over there. The person behind us leans forward and goes, hate to be you guys tonight because we're scared to walk across campus and we're wearing the right colors.
Right.
So there was about a group of about 30 of us Husker fans that all left the game together. And the CU band was out there playing.
Yeah.
And one of them walks by and goes, "Can you play the Nebraska fight song for us?"
I could picture you guys walking out back to back in a big circle.
Pretty much what it was.
Dude, it's rough. It's rough there.
Well, okay, number one, it's college, so there's drunken teenagers everywhere, right? Or in their early 20s when you don't know when to stop. For me, that was like 40s. But you know what I'm saying, the average person. I don't really. I've always wanted to get into college football. I don't know. I never could. I want to start, though. I
watch more college football.
I watch more.
It's like one of those things, like my sister and I, we text more during the college football season because it'd be like, "Are you watching the Oklahoma game?" "No, I'm watching the Virginia Tech game," or what.
Yeah.
And it's like we're texting back and forth. "Hey, flip to this game. Flip to this channel. Check this out."
I told myself I would now that they got an actual bracket, like an actual playoff.
Right.
And they've expanded that this year to 12 teams.
They need to.
They went from 8 to 12.
I think it's cool if like someone like Morgan Community College could make the Sweet 16. Yeah, exactly.
Well, our Northern Illinois beats Notre Dame in South Bend this weekend. Like in South Bend.
Yeah.
They went to Texas A&M the week before, beat Texas A&M at their home field, then come home and they're like, "Oh, this is just a pick-me-up game." NIL comes in and just whoops them.
That's good.
They beat them by a field goal. But either way, that's whooping if you're Notre Dame.
A lot of people hate the fighting Catholics, bro. You know what I mean?
They got to forgive you.
They got football Jesus, bro. So whatever. I don't think they got to forgive you. They just got to ask for forgiveness. I did some time in some Catholic church, so you know what I mean. It's
I did too.
I'm sorry about that.
I said I do in one.
Oh, oof.
But before we go any further, I do want to say, hey, welcome to the Bullhucker podcast. If you're new to the podcast, what we do is bring on a guest. Today is the Adam Vocke.
The Adam Vocke, the co-host, the original co-host of this show.
Yeah, the OG.
He's seen it all, man.
He's seen it all. Back in August 2020, it was our first episode we had recorded, and yeah, you were there. If you look back, I hate that episode, but it's him and I staring at each other like, so then now we
do what?
We're going to do some stories. That's what we're talking about, right?
We got to get it figured out.
Yeah. I was just sitting there like, I don't know. I'm just holding the head. You're the one milking this cow.
Actually, I think it was
along for the ride.
Holding the snake, and I was having sex with the snake. I believe is the word. I don't know. That's... I hold the head. That's here nor there.
You want to make sure you got the right end of that.
No animals were harmed during that episode, just so you know. But anyway, if you like what you see, or what we do is, Adam's going to come on and tell 3 stories about his life. Now, here's a kicker: only 2 of these stories are true. One's either borrowed, made up, or it's an embellished story. At the end of the day, Mr. Josh and I, Nebraska boy, are going to try and figure out which one of those is not a completely true story. Yep. So, having said that. Yeah, it's been forever. August of 2020 is when it started. We're closing in on 200 episodes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm very proud of it.
180.
Yeah, there's some stats you found on that kind of stuff. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but it's like most podcasts fail within the first 3 episodes, and like only 85%. There's like 2 million a year started.
Right.
And then the first 3, or most of them fail within the first 3 episodes, like 80% of those.
Yep.
And,
it's nuts.
And then like 90% of that don't even make 10. And
it's crazy, man.
So
it's been fun. You've been to quite a few of these too, man.
Been to a few. Yep.
Yeah,
I enjoy every one. Whether I'm in that seat or this seat. It's all good.
Vocke and I've had some crazy ones, but for some reason, you bring out the crazy shit in people. There's some of the stuff that's been told with Josh Ridley here. I'm just like, oh my God, are you telling me this because Josh is sitting here?
Hey, man, you know?
He puts off that priest vibe, maybe, you know?
Whoa, no, it's definitely not that. It's definitely not that.
Not the weird priest vibe.
Maybe the altar boy.
Moving right along. All right.
So you're in the other part of the confession.
Oh, yeah.
Were you an altar boy?
No, I was Christian, man. I was in our church was happy. We sang songs. Everybody smiled. First time I went to a Catholic church, I'm like, what is this? There is not one smile in here. Oh, no, me, kneel. Well, I'm like, what the hell is this?
Come in and give us your...
Kneel, sit, stand.
Come and give us your money now. Kneel, stand, and sit now.
Take my wet bread, awesome. Yeah. No, I don't want that.
He gets out the little baby rattle and starts flicking water on people.
Right.
Swinging a Christmas ornament with smoke coming out of it.
Can you put some real shit in there?
Inflation is crazy. Don't drink so much wine.
Jesus can't balance the budget. I don't know. Forgive me.
It's the blood of Christ. He got dizzy from giving so much. Please don't be shit-faced.
We're going to hell tonight.
Speaking of the body of Christ, I've got to say this. I was talking to a coworker the other day, and she was trying to think of, she's like, that thing you eat at church that, when you do I go, communion? She's like, yeah. What's the church cookie called?
The church cookie.
I go, a communion
wafer?
Oh, my
God.
And she's like, yeah, that's it. I go, did you just refer to the body of Christ as the church cookie? And she's like, shut up, Adam. So,
do you dip it in the blood, or what is that? I don't know.
So, I'll say his name. Alan Goff got married to Aaron. What's up, Al? What's up, Aaron? And Aaron's Catholic. The Elie's are all Catholic. And so Alan had to go to Catholic boot camp, right? So
me too.
Yeah, take all the tests and learn about all the Catholic. That's cool, great. So I was raised Catholic, right? Catholicism. So he brings me this. This is really before Google and all that stuff was big, and it's the sex thing. He's got to name all the sex organs and talk about, the rhythm method and shit. And he's got the female sex organs, and he's got to name them all. And he's like, okay, all right. I'm like, I'm single, right? I don't. Do I put the real names or what I call it? You know what I mean? Ask
With
Father,
the street slang, bro.
ask Father Jim if that's cool. It got bad enough to when their first child, Cole, was born. What's up, buddy? They said, Larry, would you be the godfather of our firstborn? And I was very, very, I'm very moved, man. I was very humbled. Of course I would. That'd be a great honor, And I still consider my godson, but he's not because the Catholic Church thought it'd be a bad idea because I wasn't a practicing Catholic.
Oh,
I'm not trying to go pro with this shit, so I don't know what the problem is,
I'm a pinch hitter, man.
Yeah. So they go, well, you got to be celibate. You're already there halfway, Larry. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Anyway, so she called me a little upset. She's like, well, they said since you're not really a Catholic anymore, you can't be the godfather. I was like, Catholics.
Rules and
yeah.
Oops.
Anyway. All right. You ready to tell some stories, Voke?
I am.
You want to read them off for us, Mr.
Yes,
Finley?
sir. Let's see what we got here. We got one great return policy. We've got the ditch must have moved.
Yep.
That's right. Woke up
with a dog.
Okay. Woke up with a dog. Thought that said woke up with a day. Woke up with a dog. I do that every day. I wake up with a dog, so I'm with you there. He's real nice.
All right.
Well,
Josh, since you're our guest co-host, why don't you pick one out, brother?
Well, this is one that I'd probably relate to the most. I want to hear about the ditch must have moved.
Okay, so when I was probably, I grew up on a farm. My dad was a farmer for forever, and so I'd go out with him and we'd check the water and like the set pipes and all that stuff. And so I went with him one time, and my sister never usually went with us, but she tagged along this day, and I was probably 6 or 7, so she was probably 2 or 3. And so we'd go out, and my dad says, just stay right here next to the front of this pickup. And I was like, okay. So we're sitting there, and I'd go over and I'd start throwing rocks and whatever. And Lisa would come over and start doing the same thing. And then we'd go to then we'd see Dad come, and we'd haul ass back to the pickup, and we'd be standing in front of the pickup. We'd get up, get in, and go, a little further down. Well, we'd been out there for a while, and, was getting bored, and I had to pee. So my dad's, out in the field, and I walk over and start pissing in the ditch. Well, it was the part of the ditch where it was like the head of the ditch where the pump is, where it pumps all the water. So it was an area that's probably 6 by 8 or so, and this water just pumps in there, then it starts going down the ditch. So I'm over there by that, and I'm standing there taking a piss in this ditch, and my sister comes walking over there, and she's standing there next to me, and the ditch gave way, and she fell into the ditch.
Like the shoulder of it.
Yeah, so it just caved off, and she fell into that area where all that water was being pumped. And I mean, it's probably a 12-inch pipe. There's a lot of water coming out of this thing. Oh. And so she falls into the ditch, and I see her tennis shoe, and then she disappears, and then I see the hood of her coat. She had on a pink coat, and it disappeared, and she went back under, and I'm like, what the hell? I kind of panic at first, so I jump in, and I grab her, and I pull her out, and then I go running out into the field to get my dad. So my dad, being my dad, starts screaming at me. So I just saved his daughter's life, but he's screaming at me for being next to the ditch.
Goddamn Luther.
And so we get back to the house. This is probably late September. It was chilly, so because we had on our coats and hoodies and shit. And so we get back to the house, and we go in, and I'm soaked. My sister's soaked. It's probably 50 degrees outside. My mom's in the kitchen making dinner, and she's like, what in the hell happened? Because both of us are crying. And my dad just goes, the ditch must have moved. She goes, what? He goes, the ditch moved. It had to have moved. The ditch must have moved. And my mom's like, Luke, what the hell happened? And so I'm trying to explain to my mom that Lisa fell in the ditch and this and that and all. And then so my dad gets he's still mad at me. So he sends me to my room, and the only thing he was telling my mom was the ditch must have moved. So, yeah, that was
almost died. Not a big deal.
She almost died.
The ditch moved.
But the thing is, with my sister, I'm not sure that I'm supposed to even have a sister because she was switched with another kid at the hospital.
What?
Whoa!
So my mom was getting ready to nurse, and they bring this baby in, And she looks down, like my mom's all ready to nurse. She looks down, and they'd given her like this little Mexican baby. My mom screams, and they're like, "Oh!" So they like get the baby, and then they go like find my sister.
Hey, Janice. By the way, what's with the scream? Okay, brown babies are beautiful. Janice.
I don't think it was so much that. It was just that's not my kid.
Yeah, I know.
And then when I was 4, so my sister she was still in the carrier. I pulled one of those newspaper machines.
Oh, yeah.
You put the quarter in I pulled one of those over on my foot, and it smashed the shit out of my foot.
Oh.
And so my mom, like, sets me in the car and pulls my boot off, and my sock is just covered with blood. Well, we're coming out. It was a steakhouse in Lamar called K-Bob's. So this couple is behind us, this older couple. They're probably in their 60s. And they said, "We'll take your daughter and follow you to the hospital." And so my mom just hands my sister to this couple that she had no idea who they were.
Right.
So the fact that I even have a sister is amazing. Because she was switched at birth, fell in a ditch, and then just, like, voluntarily kidnapped. So, yeah, my mom gave her away, but they brought her back.
It's scary times that happens. Michael Blecka said he left his son in a... Were you here? Which one of you here was Michael Blecka?
It wasn't me.
I'm pretty sure it was me.
It was the U-Haul.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just left his son with an Uber driver, like, who can't be back. You leave him with me. It's safer here.
Yeah. You go inside, get the U-Haul.
Yeah.
Keep him with me.
It's much safer here with the stranger with a running car. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
So, yeah, I saved my life, or my sister's life, and got in trouble by my dad.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
The ditch must have moved.
You know, to be fair, your sister could pass as Hispanic really easy.
And when she was younger, she was a lifeguard. So she was out in the sun a lot in high school. And even when she was little, my mom managed the swimming pool in Holly. So my sister and I were with her at the pool like almost every day during the summer. And my dad farming. We were outside a lot. And there was a lot of people that thought she was Spanish.
I thought there was something going on there because you're milky white, man. She has a little color to her. Like, so does your mom, though. Your mom does, too. Your mom looks like she could be...
And so my dad, he has dark hair. So, like, when I was little, like, family pictures, there's my mom and dad and my sister. They all have, like, dark hair, dark eyes, dark complexion. Then there's me, blonde hair, blue eyes, glow in the dark white. And it's just like, something's not right here.
One of these things just ain't like the other.
Yeah, what color was the milkman?
Well, he was white, had blonde hair.
Listen,
that would have been Jared Kalman's dad, Jim.
Listen.
But the thing is, me and Jared went to high school together, but my dad was the mailman, so you never know. So
he had packages delivered all over town.
I'm a milkman now, and I got to be honest with you. I got like 3 months in this job, and I'm like, when's the free ass start coming? I mean, because I've heard the stories growing up about the milkman fathering all these children. Yeah, it turns out
you're on the wrong end.
You're the pick it up from the source, not the end product delivery.
Yeah, you need the one door-to-door delivery. That's where the ass just rolls in, flies at you at 2 in the morning.
Click, with little bottles of milk.
Those glass bottles just does something to
like a
to
percolator and a coffee
housewife.
That's nice thick glass.
Is this where I need to bring that inside?
Look at that layer of cream on that one.
Yeah. Okay. Too far. Yeah.
Boy.
I gotta be honest. The milkman thing was depressing. That's the reason I started at such a low wage. I'm like, okay, because I know what the benefits are.
Those fringe benefits better kick in quick.
They're like, here's your life insurance, your health insurance, your 401k. I'm like, yeah. What else do I get? Well, nothing, you greedy bastard. What do you want?
That's it. That's all.
When you handed out the condoms, like, I need to go pick those up at HR or
that's
what?
It. That's
I'll
it.
go raw dog. It's okay. Just tell me where it's at.
This is where it's at. All right. What do you think about that one?
I've got a similar dad, so I think I could see that. I could see that happening. It wasn't where I thought it was going to go, believe me, but I could believe it.
Yeah. I don't think my dad would have been mad. It's hard to Larry Barrows. It's hard to tell. You'd been high as shit. I can tell you that right now. So he wouldn't have been screaming. He'd be like, "What happened? Where's your sister, man? What happened? Where's she at? Emil,
why is she all wet?
Emil." And although he is Hispanic, he'd probably make a joke about her swimming across that ditch. That's what she was like.
It's her heritage.
He's trying to get it. It's not my daughter, man. You got to cross in the first try. That's why I'm here.
You need to be saved.
This is where the podcast goes on.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, that was scary when that happened. So.
And you're how old?
I was probably 7.
So that's even worse.
6 or 7.
I mean, so she's young.
Yeah, she was like 2 or 3.
She knows
her
through that pipe, no trouble.
Well, no, it was...
Or blowing out. It was blowing out.
It was blowing water. It was pumping water into the ditch, and then it would like turn and swirl.
But
and then,
shove her under.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was pushing her under.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know how deep it was. I jumped in. I didn't even think. I just jumped in and grabbed her.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm an only child, really. Not through my mom.
I could have been.
So, well, my point is, if I had a sister through my mom and was drowning, I'd been like, Christmas could be a lot better for old Lester. You know what I'm saying? Like, sure, I'm going to have to walk out here on a cold Christmas morning with a little wooden cross for my sister. Like, all right.
But I get twice the presents.
Yeah. Every now and then, like Lisa and I'll be arguing, and I'll just tell her, I should have left your ass in the ditch. So, it's a joke now, but...
You wait till somebody overhears you saying that shit. Good luck with that. Mm-hmm. Should have left you in the ditch. I've had someone say that to me before. That's here nor there. So, all right, one great story. I like that story.
That's good.
That sounds like a Luther story. First time I met your dad, we were setting up a comedy room.
Oh yeah, down in Lamar.
No, it was actually in Fort Morgan. He came to Fort Morgan for something.
He was here for one?
We were at the Clarion. I don't know if he came to the show, but he showed up. And you and I were setting up, and I was wearing gloves when I was carrying the tables, and he called me a woman for wearing gloves.
Yeah.
Nice gloves, woman. I go, who are you? Why are you in this room?
That's what I grew up with.
He goes, that's my dad.
Tough love.
I said, all right, well.
I was called a panty waist a few times.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you do?
You push it down and ignore it.
Yep. Put
Mumble
it down
as you walk
inside. Someday he'll be old and diapers at him. That's when you have your revenge. You know what I mean?
No, I don't talk to him anymore.
All right.
I got my revenge. I hit a growth spurt, and I knocked the shit out of him my senior year. I got grounded for it, but I knocked the shit out of him a few times.
Oh, Luther. All right. One down. We got 2 more. One great return policy and woke up with a dog. Well, as usual, there's one I always want to hear the most, so let's hear the other one. Let's hear one great return policy.
Okay, so as you guys probably know, my storage unit got broke into. It was about 3 years ago now, and they took like bicycles and my pressure washer and a table and my paddle board and all this stuff. So last summer, a friend of mine wanted me to go to the lake with her, but I didn't have a paddle board, and I was like, man, I suck at fucking paddleboard. I tried 3 or 4 times, and it was a comedy of errors. For me. And so I thought, fuck it, I'm just going to get a kayak. Because I just sat on the paddleboard, and so I'll just fucking get a kayak. Fuck it. So I went up to Shields, and I found this kayak for like $500. And brought it back, and Courtney and I went to the lake a few times together. And
to be clear, I'm not much into this shit. The kayak's the one with the hole in it, right?
Well, like the Olympic kayaks, yes. The professional ones. But
where you spin around and shit. And
the one I got, like a smaller version of almost like a canoe.
Okay.
It's just, and I had to get a 2-person kayak because of the weight capacity.
I get you.
But there's just like 2 little seats.
When you get out, it's out. Ding, I got you.
No. I know, I don't wear that belly thing.
Okay.
No. There's none of that shit. Right. And so...
Pull harder. Go free.
I already think this story is bullshit.
No, it's not one of those type. But this one had like places where you can put like a fishing pole. And have you seen those videos where the guys are out fishing and they have the poles and it was a kayak like that?
Adam, we both know I don't watch that redneck shit, but go ahead.
Anyway,
I've seen it.
So I went out with Courtney a couple times at the lake and floated around and did whatever. And I moved all my shit out of that storage unit that got broke into, which coincidentally, when I was moving all my shit out, I realized the unit next to me was his. So he was there getting some shit out.
And the door still kicked in today.
So
not a big deal.
So I'd like...
Really?
Yeah. I'd rented a unit at another place. So I moved all my shit over there. So when I'm not using this kayak, I mean, it's like 10 or 12 feet long. I take it out to storage, and then if I know I'm going to need it, I'd get it and bring it back to the garage and whatever. So it's back and forth. Well, this earlier this summer when Lisa was here, or Lisa, Harley was here. I was doing some stuff in the garage, and I noticed that the kayak was gone, and I was like, I asked Harley, I go, was the kayak in here? And she's like, I don't know if it was or not. I go, I must have taken it out to the storage unit and didn't think anything of it. So I went to Iowa to work a few times and came back, and Courtney had sent me a text. She's like, let's go to the lake this weekend. And I'm like, okay. And so I was in Iowa for 2 weeks, and the timing on this was bizarre because I was looking at my credit card bill, and there was a credit, like a $500 credit on my credit card thing. And I'm like, the fuck, did I like overpay, make a double? What the fuck?
Right.
Mm-hmm. So I called the credit card company and said, no, it's a return. And I'm like, what? And they said it was a return to Shields. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I called Shields, and I was talking to them, and I told them who I was and gave them my credit card information and all this. And it says, it looks like here it's like the beginning of June, you had returned a kayak for $528. I said, I didn't return a kayak. So I was thinking there was like some mistake or whatever. And I go, so the return, I go, did they have the card? What? And they said, no, there was no card, but we could scan the record so they could scan the receipt. And any purchase over $500 automatically goes back to the card and not to store credit. And I was so confused. I'm thinking, what the fuck's going on? So anyway, I was in Iowa, didn't think anything of it. Kind of forgot about it. Got back, went to get my kayak out of storage. It's not there. I go to the house. It's not in the garage. So the only thing I can figure is that kayak in the beginning. I guess I should tell you, in the front of it, there's like a little storage thing that you can unscrew and put stuff in there, like a dry thing. And I threw all the paperwork in there and just screwed it back closed. So the only thing I can figure is someone stole that fucking kayak out of my garage, found the receipt, and tried to return it for an easy $500 at Shields. But since they didn't have the card, it automatically went back to the card when they scanned the receipt. So, I mean, that's a good return policy. You steal my shit, try to get your money back.
I get paid.
And then I still get paid for it, which is great because I only used it like a couple times. So, fuck that, man. I'm like,
nice.
Right on. Yeah, it was just weird. I'm like, I was so fucking confused on where this.
Right.
I was making phone calls, and it was bizarre.
Some poor bastard went through all the trouble to rob you.
I know. Yep. And then the thing is, they have to haul that fucker into the store.
Yep.
Just everything else.
Tim, my buddy Tim, he's worked for Pepsi since God was a child, and he was one of the head honchos in Pueblo for a while. And there was an East Side Safeway. And, when I say East Side in Pueblo, nothing over there is really. You don't go walking during the day.
It's
right?
all East Side.
Yeah. So he had a merchandiser going to this store, and one day he comes out, the merchandiser, someone has stolen in broad daylight, stolen his car. Right? So he calls Tim, and Tim gets him. 2 weeks later, the cops find this car. Right? They find his car. They put new rims on it, put a new radio in it, they put all kinds of money into it, and they found it. So he got his car back, and for 2 weeks later, totally souped up, man.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. He had...
Did exhibits steal it?
Here's the deal.
Pimp my ride?
Yeah. Somebody made him an awfully nice Cholo wagon, but God bless, it was beautiful. Yeah. So he got this way nicer car after someone stole it, And I guarantee the asshole who did it's like, híjole chingada, Right. I spent all day Saturday putting that new radio in those rims, and now he's gone.
I had to steal 12 cars to make this one. What the hell?
So that's kind of shit happens. Good,
right?
That's a good thing.
I was like, fucking good for me. And fuck
good
them.
Karma there, right?
Dude, getting robbed's never fun, dude.
I know it sucks. And when they got into my storage unit, they took so much shit. Well, they took all our DJ shit too.
Yep.
And the lights and those portable PVs and.
Oh yeah, and it's weird because I thought those PVs would pop back up.
I thought so too.
Because those aren't something the PVs we use for comedy.
Oh yeah,
those aren't things that people get rid of, dude. Because they're so handy, dude. They're incredibly handy,
Right.
But yeah, if they obviously probably pawned them.
Yeah, they
out of state, back east or something.
Denver, somewhere.
So so the guy owns used to own the pawn shop here in Fort Morgan. It's a bank now or something, but
it's like a realty place.
Okay. He told me there's like a database. So like when someone comes on with something like that, you punch it in, and the VIN.
Like you have serial numbers and stuff on
it. Yep. So, which is good. I've pawned a lot of shit in my time. So
I went to Lowe's the other day. They had the goddamn paintbrushes locked up. We can't
Really?
even get a paintbrush. I'm like, really, crackheads steal paintbrushes? Like,
Really?
You know they ain't painting. Like,
Why did they steal paintbrush?
I have no idea,
Because they're
man.
easy to steal, probably.
And I imagine, like, contractors, if you're selling them to, you know, I don't know, maybe it's the contractors themselves, but I walked in, and sure enough, on the little deal, they're $14 paintbrushes, and their little thing, you got to get a clerk to come over and unlock the thing and let you have it. I'm like,
That's almost everything now. It's
insane.
I mean, I kind of get it. You know what I mean? Like, eventually, it'd be like a convenience store in downtown Detroit. You're just going to have to walk up to the window and be like, I need a paintbrush. I need this. I need that. You know what I mean? Put your credit card in the little box, sir. You know, so
Right.
that's the world we're coming to, man. What do you do?
Sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. But what do you do? You know? All right. What'd you think about that one, bro?
I'll let you know here. I'll hear the next one.
All right.
I'll let you hear.
You got a little doubt in your voice?
Yeah, I got a little doubt in that one, but
Okay. All right.
I know crackheads too well.
Oh, bud. Oh, bud. You know what you told me you had in there was a bunch of 80s football cards, too.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I
Yeah,
could
I had-
only
it
imagine.
was like from 88 to 90, probably 2. Like, it was all pro set, tops and Fleer.
Yeah.
Like, full sets, multiple.
Upper deck.
Nah, I didn't have a whole lot of upper deck. Most of my stuff was pro set, was the majority of it. But then one year for Christmas, my mom had gotten me, it was Fleer, and it was a complete set in the box.
Oh, wow.
And so you bought, it was like all their cards from like 1989, and they were all in order.
Wow.
And I went through them, and there was like some duplicates, so I'd pull them out and whatever. But
Yeah.
so,
There's some money right there for
Oh, I
sure.
guarantee it.
It was
Oh, my gosh.
2 storage totes that were probably
Long boxes, right?
probably like 2 foot long and probably a foot and a half
Oh,
high. I
man.
mean, those like the decent big size ones. Yeah, 2 of those completely full. And there was like an Art Shell card when he was the head coach of the Raiders.
Seriously. Oh,
But it was
man.
an error card. They had the wrong birthday on it.
Oh, really?
So that one was worth more. There was, I mean, all the rookie cards from the guys
Oh,
from 88 to 92 or 3.
Right.
you'd have had all your Cowboys on there.
So, yeah, it was.
Your Emmitt Smith, your Troy Aikman. That's all them and that.
Thurman Thomas was in there.
Barry Sanders. I mean,
Yeah.
Shit.
It
Oh,
was-
my gosh.
Yeah.
Those names. You can keep going down that list, man, for sure.
I found a bunch of my old cards. I found like some old basketball cards. Like I had like 4 or 5 Mutombo rookies, some Shaq
Really?
rookies. Yeah, man. But I mean, they're only worth what someone's willing to pay for them.
Right.
And there's so many of them out there. I have a few Emmitt Smith rookie cards I found. I'll hook you up. So I looked online to see what an Emmitt Smith rookie's worth, man. There's somebody asking like $35,000 for one, but the rest of them are like 50. You know what I'm saying? So, but someone's, you know, why don't you put it out there? You never know, right? So
Right.
some asshole's like, an Emmitt Smith rookie, $35,000. Give me 2, you know?
Right.
But I would
So-
sit there. I'd spend hours I'd open the cards, and then
Yeah.
like I'd go through, and if I didn't have it, because I had like they made the boxes. They were white, and you could fold
Yeah.
them, and they were the long box
Yeah, the long box, yeah.
that you could put your shit in for your complete set.
Yep.
So if I had it, I already had it. It was a duplicate. I had Trapper Keepers.
Oh, my
With
God. The Trapper Keeper's probably worth some money today.
No,
yeah.
with the
Damn.
little like the plastic sheets that you could put them in.
Oh, yeah.
And I had them organized alphabetically by mascot, and then once you get into that team, then it was by position. So I'd have like quarterbacks, running backs, defensive line, offensive line.
Nerd, bud.
Wait,
And I
that
would
was
sit
way
there,
further
and
than I
would-
did.
And I would sit there and I'd move shit around, and
Oh, he got traded to the Falcons. Fuck
Yeah.
and so if my buddies would come over and they'd be like, "Hey, I want that one," I'd pull out whatever Trapper Keeper. I was like, "Oh, so that's it was with the Falcons, so that's F through whatever," and I flip through it. I'm
Jesus.
like, "No, I don't have an extra one. You can't have that one." So
Yeah.
I have like my whole little anal retentive OCD system.
That's awesome,
My
man.
friend Aubrey was friends with a girl named Melissa back in Pueblo. Her boyfriend, Todd, we were helping him move in. He had a bunch of cards, and he was kind of showing me them and going through them. I'm like, you realize this is a Dan Marino rookie, right? Oh, really? I was like, oh, my God, dude. Why'd
I'll take that.
Yeah,
Here's
yeah.
$50.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I've got my dad had gotten me a full set of Lyle Alzado cards.
holy
from
crap.
rookie year all the way
that's
through
pretty cool.
his whole thing. But those weren't in there. Those were in a lockbox in my mom and dad's.
Yeah,
Last time I saw it, they were in my mom and dad's closet.
right.
There was a Larry Johnson, Grandmama, rookie card.
I have
the Kimbe Mutombo rookie card.
Yeah.
And a John Elway. Since he don't technically have a rookie card, it was his first card from his second season.
Yeah. He isn't a rookie?
No. Because he got drafted by Baltimore.
Wouldn't play.
The Colts. And then the first card that came out with Elway on it, he was a Bronco.
Right.
And the card that I have, he's on the phone. He's not even in the game. He's on the phone on the sideline.
So I think there's a rookie card because it's got him holding the drink in his hand. Because I have that card. I think it's a rookie.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure, man. I'm almost
because from what I'd heard or saw that he didn't technically have one his rookie year.
Oh, maybe so. Because he played his rookie year. He got traded
hey Siri, does John Elway have a rookie card?
Yeah. we'll look it up. So, all right.
In the day and age we're in right now.
Meta AI.
Right?
I hate Meta AI.
We'll make you one.
All right. 2 great stories down. 1 great return policy. The ditch must have moved, and we got 1 left. Woke up with a dog.
So when I was living in Goodland, I had these roommates. I lived with this dude named Rodney, and then there was this other guy. His name was Sean. We called him Stoney, and this girl named Julie. We called her Roach.
Stoney and Roach.
Was she cool with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah, she's cool with it. And so, we'd hang out and whatever, but I wasn't like great friends with any of them. I worked part-time at Pizza Hut, so that's how I knew Julie. And I worked at a place called Sigco where we bagged 50-pound bags of sunflower seeds.
Right.
And that's how I knew Rodney. And Rodney owned the house, so we were all roommates at Rodney's house. And Rodney told me when I first moved in, I'd been there maybe a week or 2, he called me back to his bedroom, and he goes, just so you know, and he opens the closet and pulls out this.
Time to pay the rent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
Rent's due.
He pulls out this bong that was like the peace sign type thing or something.
That's not peace.
This is peace. It was the Shaka whatever. It was like this. It was this.
That's the rocker, bud.
You would load.
You would suck at gang signs.
Bong. I know. That's why I live.
What'd you say?
You would suck at gang signs.
At a Walmart. Anyway, but you put the pot in there somehow, and then you would like
I can explain it if you
inhale
want.
through the thumb was the part. I don't fucking know how it worked. He just pulled this fucking bong out that looked like a fucking hand. That's all I know. And then he had like a little rolling machine in his grinder and all that shit. And he goes, just so you know, he goes, I smoke pot. He goes, so does Stoney and Roach. I'm thinking,
weird.
Obviously.
Yeah.
That's a coincidence.
Yeah.
He goes, and if anybody brings over any Coke or anything, he goes, we might partake in that, but not normally. And I'm like, okay. I said, that's cool. I said, he goes, I just wanted to let you know. I said, I'm good with it. You guys can do whatever you want. Just, if I want to do anything, I'll come to you. Other than that, don't pressure me into it. Don't ask, whatever. And he's like, all right, I'm cool with that. So people would show up, and they would either go downstairs to the living room, bedroom, living area of Sean or Stoney, and or they would say something about playing in the water, which was like some kind of gravity bong. You can tell I don't do drugs or never have because I don't know what half this shit is. I know there's a 5-gallon bucket, a funnel.
He's itching. He's itching to correct you right now.
I've got a little expertise in this domain.
So anyway, so when they start doing this shit, I'd either go to my bedroom or I'd leave. So one day I get to work, and this goes on for a few months. I get to work, and Jug, this guy at work, his name's Darren, we call him Jug. He goes, why are you here? And I go, because I'm supposed to work today. And he goes, you haven't been home, have you? You spent the night at Dina's, didn't you? And I go, yeah. And he goes, you need to go home. And so I went home, and I pull up in front of my house, and my front door is on the front yard. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Whoa.
And the screen door is or the storm door is leaning against the house. And about that same time, Sean and his girlfriend pull up. And we walk in. This house had been totally fucking ransacked. So you know, like when on a movie that like somebody's looking for something and there's just shit everywhere. That's the way our house looked. We had like the big tower speakers, and the screens were like the fronts were pulled off of those. Couch cushions were ripped off the couch. Couch was upside down. My mattress was leaning against the wall. Dresser drawers empty. All my guns were gone. And I found this thing on the kitchen table, and it was an inventory sheet. Because we had been raided by the KBI, which is the Kansas Bureau of Investigations.
Oh, boy.
The Sherman County
Sheriff's
Office and the Goodland Police Department.
They take your kayak?
No, I hadn't bought the kayak yet.
Okay.
Roommate's got that one.
Rodney did have a boat, though. But anyway, so they, like, take all this shit and... So
about spit that.
So I get back to work. We like kind of rig the door so we can kind of somewhat secure the house. And I get to work, and Jug goes, "So how bad is it?" I'm like, "Dude, they took all kinds of shit. The house is trash. It's going to be a fucking mess to clean up." So then I heard that the cops were looking for me. And I'm like, well, shit. So I called the police department. Because it's like, I don't know why. I mean, I lived in a house with drugs in it, but maybe that's why they're looking for me. So I called, and they're like, what's your name? And I told them, and they said, well, just come by the police department when you get off work. I was like, okay, I get off at 3. I'll be there 3:15 or something. So I show up, knock on the door, because it was all locked up, and they buzzed and asked me who I was, what I was needing. I told them what it was. They're like, just go home, and we'll send an officer over. So I'm in there, and I'm cleaning up my bedroom. The VCR was hanging off my entertainment center by the coax. Nice. And I've been watching...
porn, Adam. Just
no.
Porn. It's fine.
It was porn.
Debbie Does
Ford,
Dallas. The Indiana Jones.
Okay.
That's what it was.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so I fucking grabbed this VCR.
At the Temple of Poon.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you guys say that, because I push play and there is porn in this fucking VCR. I'm like, I don't remember watching that. But so anyways, I'm cleaning my shit up. They dumped the trash can on my fucking on my bed and just all this shit. So the cop shows up, and it was a guy that I actually knew, that I was friends with, because we were on the same bowling league. And he goes, you're not on this list. He's like flipping through these papers. And he goes, yeah, you're not on this list. And so I go, so what's going on? And he goes, well, we made 64 arrests last night. They raided 4 houses. Wow. They said this has been an ongoing investigation. So there's actually a surveillance camera in that tree across the street that's been watching your house for the last 90 days.
Wow.
We've had an undercover KBI agent in your house, which we come to find out was this chick that we referred to as 65 because of her haircut. It was Motorcycle Mike's girlfriend.
All these people, like nothing. Motorcycle Mike, Roach, Stoney, like not Church Cindy. No, none of those.
Good guy Frank.
Good guy Frank. Nope, none of those.
So he said that they were sitting around and doing their little meeting or whatever before they went out, and he said your name came up a couple times, but you didn't have anything on you because you always left the room or never went downstairs or whatever. So I was like, cool. So about a week later, I'm laying in bed, I'm sound asleep because I had to go to work at 6 o'clock the next morning, and I wake up because I felt my bed move, and I'm like, what the fuck? I wake up, and there's this drug sniffing dog on my bed. So the cops had shown up because Sean was on probation, I was on probation, and we were on probation for different things. He had just got out of prison. I just bounced some checks. But
still a crime. Still a crime.
Still a crime.
So they came to the house, and ran a drug dog through the house to make sure there was nothing else in the house. And when I woke up, this dog was on my bed fucking sniffing around in my fucking room. Scared the shit out of me.
At least he was just sniffing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I was talking to Julie the next day. She's like, oh, yeah, that's like the second or third time they've been here. She goes, you usually sleep right through it. I go, that's the third time that fucking dog's been in my room while I'm asleep. I'm like, yeah. I didn't even know.
That's creepy as shit. What that is.
No, right?
Always wanted to know who took the shit in the corner, but I guess I figured it out.
Adam's having these erotic dreams. There's a dog next to his sack.
Why is that peanut butter in here again?
I'll throw that dog one way or the other, baby.
I don't know why I keep waking up with a smile, but life is good. I don't know why. It's great.
You guys look all down. I'm happy as
fuck. Why is there milk bone crumbs in here? Shit.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I woke up with a dog.
That'd be
That was the four-legged kind.
What kind of dog was it?
It was a German Shepherd.
Okay.
I was going to say, got to be a mean one. Canines are never like poodles and shit.
Dude, drug dogs are
A little
nuts.
beagle.
Yeah, it's never that.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, the City of Brush had Runer. He was their drug dog. He's retired since, but yeah. Crazy stories about that, I guess. You know what I mean? So... fuck that. The attack dogs are the ones you got to worry about. You know, the ones that they say the whatever word in German, and that damn dog comes at you like a heat-seeking missile. Yeah,
Murder missile.
Chris Titus. I'm a big fan of Chris Titus. You know, I like his comedy, but he was talking about filming a commercial with the police, and they had one of those dogs, and he was kind of joking around, and the guy's like, "Oh, you think it's funny? Well, check this shit out." That dog whipped his ass, man. Like. Call it off kind of shit. So he got real fast. So
we used to. We got out of it here recently, but we used to help train basic training for dogs that would go to veterans, that would be donated to veterans, and so we ended up getting a couple of these Belgian Malinois that this guy had Belgian Malinois.
I have no idea.
It looks a lot like a German Shepherd, just a little smaller.
A little smaller and a whole lot more spunkier.
Yeah, they're fast.
They're fast, and them dudes can like climb 20-foot walls, no trouble.
Yeah, have you seen the videos of like the dogs running up? That's a Malinois.
That's a Malinois.
Like running up the wall and jumping off.
They grab something on that stick. And
like that movie. What is it? The one with Channing Tatum when he has to take the dog back to the funeral for his buddy.
Oh yeah.
Is that Dog? Yeah. I think it's called Dog or something like that. But that's a Belgian Malinois.
Okay.
And dude, they are very loyal to the person or the family that they are protecting. Everybody else, free game. Like them, dude, they are not good service dogs. Let me just tell you right now, they are definitely more police oriented. But man, you jump a fence, they don't even stop.
Yeah.
Right over the top.
It's crazy. I've seen like on TikTok, obviously, you see this stuff. Special forces guys with their dog, you know, how those dogs are trained. It's impressive with those dogs. You know, when he moves his legs a certain way, that dog either ducks beneath him. I mean,
or like walks between them.
Yeah,
they have like the harness, like the parachute, and the dog's attached to the guy that's parachuting. It's pretty impressive.
That's got to be tough though to be that special agent or that
soldier.
Yeah, and sometimes that dog, dude. I mean, that's got to be life changing. You know what I mean?
You mess with my dog now,
but
I'll take you out.
The guy up there right over Adam's right shoulder. That's the last time I had a dog. That's Rodney, bro. That's when he died. It messed me up.
My little buddy.
That's not your buddy. That's not your buddy at all.
Not you, buddy.
I took Rodney. We met at Budweiser when I worked there. And I took Rodney to get fixed. He used to like going for rides in the car until that day. So I took him for a ride. I was going to work, so I dropped him off with the Steiner Sills. He gave him the old, you know. And then he didn't like the car at all. He didn't like going anywhere after that. He didn't like going for walks. And I tell people he didn't like getting picked up, right? And so I had him come to the house, and he tried to pick him up. I'm like, dude, look at his tooth. I said, he bites you. That thing's going in crooked. It's going to hurt like shit.
Snaggletooth little bastard.
And Adam would pick him up, and it was like, oh, dude, like, I'm like, he bites you. You're on your own, man. But
you know, like when they grab an alligator and it's like thrashing around?
Yeah, right.
That's the way he was. Like, I'd grab him. He'd start flipping his head back and forth trying to bite me. He'd like, that tooth drug a few times.
It got some scars.
No, I don't have any scars, but
he was a stout little guy too. He's strong for his size.
Yeah.
So when I'd have to take him somewhere, I'd have to grab a blanket and sneak up on his ass.
Oh my God!
And like in the jungle or something, and jump on him. It was so bad.
Does this smell like chloroform?
Yeah.
The first time I was petting him and stuff, and he's like, "You don't like being picked up." So I'm just petting him, and then I tried to pick him up. After that, whenever I'd go close to him, like I was going to pet him, he'd just look at me like, I know what you're up to, motherfucker. He just,
not again. I've been fooled once, boy, not twice.
He didn't like hardly anybody. You know what person he liked was Al Goff, because Al would give him beer. So yeah, he liked chiladas a lot. So that's here nor there. Anyway, but losing him messed me up for a while. When he died, that was it was July.
It's tough, man.
July 15, 2015, man. That's it's tough. It's hard.
July 15. Oh, I was going to say, isn't that your birthday? Your birthday's 13th.
Yep. 2 days after my birthday was. But it's hard. It's hard when the dog's passed. But that's why he's in the studio with us today.
That's awesome.
Because people was like, "What's wrong with him?" I'm like, "Well, he's got a thing when people ask him what's wrong with him. That's he had personality though. He was a weird little shit.
They all do.
Yeah, but he didn't like Mom. He tolerated Mom, but that's about it. And Uncle Ed lived with me for a while, and he would rub his wet nose on Ed's back of his ankle, and Ed would be like, "He's touching me, Larry, hey, Larry, he's touching me, Larry, he's touching me." Like he's more scared of you than I am. Knock it out, Larry, hey, he's touching me, he's gonna quit touching your uncle.
Oh my God.
Yeah. All right, we got 3 great stories. One great return policy, the ditch must have moved and woke up with a dog. Mm-hmm. You got something in mind?
I do have one in mind.
Really?
Yeah,
He's got me a little torn on some. So what we do now is we rock, paper, scissors to see who has to guess first. Now, I think you and I are both 3 pumpers.
3 pumpers, baby.
And this guy's the original 4 pumper.
Yeah,
what are you going to do?
Some guys like to go extra credit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I'm going to push you guys out of your comfort zone tonight.
Nope. I'm going 3. I'm a 3 all the time, man.
I got to wake up early for this shit. I got time for extra pumps. What's wrong with you? Are you ready?
Ready. Oh, hell.
All right, Josh. 3 great stories. Like I said, 1 great return policy, the ditch must have moved and woke up with a dog. What are you thinking?
Well, so the ditch must have moved. I'm all on board on that one, honestly. I got a dad in the same position. I can see that happening. I grew up on a farm myself, so it was always a deal. I got beat every single day pretty much, and I deserved every one. So that one I feel pretty confident about. Woke up with a dog. I lived in Goodland for a while, so I don't know that I met Motorcycle Mike or Roach or Stoney. Went to school with a guy named Stoney in Burlington. He's gone now, but which is just across the border.
I went to
30 miles there. Yep. But I lived in Goodland for about 8 or 9 months, and I can tell you the weed was not high quality. The coke might have been a little better, but now today it's reversed. So who knows? But I kind of feel like that could happen.
Yeah.
Just because Kansas don't mess around.
Yeah.
There is no that bust you for seeds in Kansas. Like
really?
Oh, dude, it's and especially this day and age, you see a Colorado plate go across the border.
Yep.
They're not supposed to stereotype, but guaranteed they stereotype.
Oh, guarantee it.
And so just how it is, and they don't care. They'll take you down for everything. So the one I don't feel real good about is the great return policy. Just because I've known some crackheads, and I've never seen one take anything back to a store ever.
Really?
They sell it on Marketplace, sell for $50 on the side of the road, that sort of thing. So while they're all good stories, that one I think is a fake just because of that. I think they would have took it to Joe Schmo and got $50 if that was all they needed. By the time you haul it back to a store, get it inside, go through all that, you probably look a little suspect anyway. I'm feeling that, so that's where I'm going.
All right, the ditch must have moved. I think I've heard that story before, but now I'm thinking, is he giving me a story that he knows I know somewhat a little bit that's going to sound familiar to throw me off my scent?
Well, this has got to be tough. You guys know each other too well.
Yeah, so that's the first thing I thought is is this a trap?
Right.
I also thought that about the 1 great return policy, although I will say my cousin, I have a cousin, and she had a drug problem. She would go rob Walmart in Pueblo, then return the stuff to the other Walmart, get store credit, build up store credit, buy a big ticket item, and then hawk that on the side.
Well, hey.
I love my cousin. I wish her the best. I love her with all my heart. I respect the fact she's a hard-working drug addict. You know, she's not just begging for it on the side of the road. You know,
she's got work ethic.
Yeah, she's got a work ethic. So, but they do return stuff. They got their dude. It's they're professionals, but
I guess.
So,
yeah.
You know, they don't know. So I'm torn, and I'm torn with the dog too. Adam, you've done a good job. Like I thought I'd catch you pretty easily. So I'm going to say the ditch must have moved. I'm going to say true story, and I'm going to kick myself. That's the one because there's like something missing there. One great return policy. I'm going to go with that one. I think too. It seems not plausible that would all go in such. And on this podcast, I've heard a lot of stories that have been so much coincidence and so much. And I'm like, there's no way, and they've always turned out to be true.
Wrong.
Yeah, they've turned out to be true. Sometimes crazy shit happens.
I didn't believe a dude was riding in the back of a U-Haul. Yeah. No way that happened. Yep, sure was.
So woke up with a dog. I'm going to change. Actually, I'm going to say one great. That's a true story. I'm going to say woke up with a dog because I've never heard that story or anything about it, and that seems like something that would have came up. That a drug dog woke you up and was visiting you on a daily basis like some kind of weird hooker. So I'm going to go with woke up with a dog. You're going with?
I'm going one great return policy.
Okay. Before we flip that over, I do want to say thank you to the Brush Emporium, man. Thank you guys so much for letting us have this podcast studio down here. Yep. We're coming up on episode 200. Officially, 215 will be 100 episodes in this studio down here, which is pretty cool. That's man. Huge. It doesn't seem... 113 should have been my buddy Robbie from Chicago came down, and if you look at it, it's still that cinder block back. He was before it all showed up, so hopefully he gets to come back before we call it quits. But thank you, Brush Emporium. Thanks for being so generous, so understanding, and such a fighter for the Bullhucker podcast. They've been awesome about everything. They're very supportive of this podcast, and we can't be more appreciative of it. If you haven't been down here, 210 Clayton Street, what are you waiting for, man? They got great food here. They got a great atmosphere to bring the family to come have dinner, man. They have all the old board games upstairs. Come down, play some old board games. And they have some shopping you can do while you're waiting for your pizza. You want an original gift? Come down to the Brush Emporium. They have stuff that's made by local vendors. That's local people they're giving a shot to. So you've eaten here.
I've eaten here, and the wings are bomb.
Oh, yeah.
Bomb.
What's your favorite?
I got some waiting upstairs right now when I leave. Oh, yeah. I bought 20 to wait.
Attaboy.
They are good. I see people all the time putting on, Wingstop left, this left. Are you guys kidding me? Come here.
Yeah, come here. Brush Emporium.
This is where it's at.
Wings, pasta, pizza, ice cream.
Ice cream.
The Wizard of the Wings up there.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Sometimes the pizza, Gilbert gets a wild hair in his butt. And I mean, they make some crazy-ass pizzas up there, man.
Like a mad doctor up there.
He's a mad doctor. Jen used to come in here, get high as shit, and see what was on the menu. And so, you know.
Everything's good at that point.
Yeah, well, she enjoyed it, she said.
And I'm not just saying that either. The wings are bomb.
Yeah, God bless. But anyway, 210 Clayton Street. Please come help them out. There are 4 people who love this town. That's why they open up a business. And if you love this podcast, please make sure you come support them who do. Without them, this probably wouldn't be going still. So, and having said that, if you do enjoy this podcast, in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a little red button. That's the subscribe button. Go and give that a click. It's a small click for you, but a huge click for us.
Huge click.
All right. Having got all our whoring done, one great return policy.
Yep.
Woke up with dog, Mr. Vocke.
Okay, so the last time I was here, Dencia was the co-host, and I fooled both of them.
Did you?
Yep.
Did they pick the same?
The football story.
It was the football story. It was the Bullhucker. So anyways, at least I'm still undefeated against Moose.
Oh, my God.
One great return policy.
What's not true about that?
The whole fucking thing.
All right.
Everything.
I got to be honest with you. I got no room to talk. When you said you bought a kayak, I was like,
yeah, that was part of it there.
Men our size have some kind of, say, God bless, Vocke.
So, I did. Okay, so I guess there is some truth that my storage unit did get broke into.
Right.
And I did buy a kayak, but it was previous to that, and I had sold it because I was like, fuck this.
I get it.
But yeah, so that was the only true parts. But
So yeah. The ditch must have moved is a true story.
Yep.
You saved Lisa's life.
Yeah.
Kind of owes you one, I'd say there, Lisa.
Instead, she stabbed me in the back with a grapefruit spoon.
Did she really?
Yeah, she loves telling that story. So there was I was probably, I'm trying to think how old she was. I was probably 10. And so that'd make her about 6. And I just gotten out of the bathtub or the shower or whatever, and I had on a pair of shorts, but I didn't have on a shirt. And I'm laying in the front room on my stomach, with my hands on my chin, on my hands, watching something. And Lisa wanted to watch something else. And I was like, no, I'm not changing the channel. So she goes and gets a butcher knife out of the kitchen. And so she's like, I'm going to stab you. And I jump up and I take off running. So my sister's chasing me through the house with a butcher knife. I'm running down the hall into my mom and dad's bedroom, across the bed, back out into my room. I mean, she's chasing me all over the place. My mom's on the phone.
Ding, rednecks.
So my mom's on the phone, and I go running up behind my mom, and I'm like, Mom, Lisa's trying to stab me. And so I grab my mom, and before I can say anything, she's like, can't you see I'm on the phone? And so I go, but she's trying to stab me. And about that time, Lisa comes around the corner with this giant butcher knife, and she goes, hold on a second, Debbie. Lisa's trying to stab at him. So it was no big deal. So she takes the knife away from Lisa, and Lisa goes, well, I'm going to stab you with a spoon. And I'm like, whatever. So I go lay back down, I'm laying on my stomach, watch TV. She comes up with this spoon, and so she says a grapefruit spoon. I say it was just a regular spoon, but the handle was square.
Yeah.
And anyway, whatever it was, she stuck me right at the base of my neck, right between my shoulder blades, and drug that spoon all the way down my backbone, just peeling skin the whole way. And I was just like, ah. And so, yeah, I saved my sister's life. She tries to kill me. So
I can see Lisa just with that damn spoon, in prison, just making it fucking shank.
But the grapefruit spoon, that's like I said, that's where we differ. But it left a hell of a mark down the center of my back.
Is it a grapefruit spoon, like a triangle at the end anyway?
Yeah, it's it's serrated.
Yes,
mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. So it'll do some damage. But I thought she stabbed me with the handle of it. Maybe it was a grapefruit spoon. I can't see what's going on back there. I could just feel it. But then the shitty part was about
do you have a
2
scar?
weeks. No. Oh. So about 2 weeks later, I'm in my bedroom trying to get something off the shelf in my closet, and I couldn't reach it. And in my closet, there was shelves on one side and then a built-in dresser, and then there was a bench in the closet. And I couldn't reach the top shelf, so I'm standing on my basketball, and the basketball rolled, and I fell in the corner of that bench right up my the full length of my back, peeled that scab, everything off again. So,
it's funny. I didn't grow up with. I have brothers and sisters. I didn't grow up with them though. I'm much older than them. But I lived next door to Mac Deal, the Deal family. He was the oldest of 7 children. And I saw that shit all the time. They would, God only knows what they would use on each other. You know what I mean? Like chairs or whatever weapon was within reach. Those 7 used to just kick the shit out of each other, man. And I would just be on the fence going, wow, we'll go back to my house, The
thing my sister would do is she would start shit with me. And then when I would chase her or whatever, she would run, Mom, Adam's being mean, blah, and then I'd get in trouble. That's the way it always worked, because Lisa's the favorite child. I know you deny it, Mom, but it's the truth.
Janice.
Wow. Dr. Phil. We have some untold stories we want to talk about here, buddy.
That's why in my mom's contact list it says Lisa, favorite child. Anyway.
Oh, Jesus. We're proud to sit down and talk about this.
That's all right. Since Lisa's the favorite, she can take care of Mom when she's in the nursing home.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway. But see, there was one time. So then my mom finally caught on that Lisa's starting trouble and to get me in trouble.
Right.
So there was one time my mom didn't do anything, and I'm chasing my sister, and I go running into her bedroom, and she had this little table and chair set, for little kids. And she knew that my mom wasn't going to do anything, so I go running in there, and she takes that chair, and she hit me right across the shins, right as I come through the door. Holy shit. And I face first into the floor. Dude. And then I jump up to chase her. She's like, Mom, Adam's... And then I ended up getting in trouble for chasing my sister. But
getting hit in the shins. I caught myself on the ball of my truck.
Oh, yeah.
My toe ball.
Oh yeah.
My toe hitch.
Oh,
God. Dude. I cried like a little girl. Was by myself. It wouldn't have mattered if you guys were sitting there. I still cried like a little girl. Oh, God. The pain. Oh, my God. Death, sweet death, come get me, All right. Hey, Vocke.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming back on.
Hey, no problem, man.
Your first one was episode 25?
Yep.
It's been 155 episodes ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been crazy, man. No, I appreciate everything you've done for the podcast, man. And, you'll see more of Adam coming back.
Things are starting to slow down.
Yeah.
I'm not spending weeks on the road.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was always good, man. Like I said, it's been quite the haul, man. Almost 5 years we've made this damn thing work. So it's a lot of crazy stories over 5 years, man.
Yeah.
Over a lifetime.
Yeah.
For you two, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been nuts. And I'm bringing back some people from the past to come do a couple second episodes or whatnot. You know what I mean? Maybe this guy will be the fourth episode we do because he's already had 300.
For Peter.
That's just your name no matter what now.
For Peter,
You've heard of Foreskin. Well, welcome to the For Peter group. So anyway, guys, thank you so much, man. I'm Moose Lundstrom.
I'm Josh Finley.
Hey, we'll catch you next time.
Peace.